Down. Let's try to just like bring them together to the red level, something here. You see let's cancel. So here I have a blue in the white, and here I'm still tinted but less. Okay. So now I will get my green maybe. So now I still have some weird stuff going on. Maybe the screen is a little bit more neutral here. But so what happened with film is that these tints, they are completely non-linear, and they happen in the shadow, in the mid, and in the high differently. So sometimes you can have a blue tint in the shadow and a red tint in the high, and yellow in the middle, or something like that. You know. And so what I'm doing with the curve, I'm correcting that, and I'm doing it with the curve because you can really move it precisely, one by one, channel by channel. Okay? So this tool is really good for that. This is also a contrast tool. So by doing what I just showed, I restore the contrast, and then you can tune. So here, so you have the individual channel, and here you have the whole thing. Okay, and so you can retouch again, and you can go more, blah blah blah, whatever. And also you can check if you are pretty much if you black are black, you can put your pointer here, and here you can see the level of luminosity here. So it says 0.3%, 1.3%, 1.2%. That's almost full black. If it go to 0, it's black. Okay? But you can decide if your black has to be black or not. You might decide that this part should be a little bit brighter, so you can bring it up a little bit like so it goes away like this, and then it appears.
I have a small question. With it being like very small percent, like 0.03%, with the discrepancy of printers not really having that much tiny detail, would it probably just come out full black in a natural print anyways?
So I didn't print a lot, so I don't know the problematic of printing, but then you're gonna have the same issues with printing.
Yeah.
So for an example, one of my friends, he printed a fashion book, and all the print came out with the colorless saturated, and he asked why, and then the printer told him, yeah, because of the printing process. So he did special edit for everything, and he saturated more the color. So then the print was more closer to his digital file. But for that, there is so many, I don't know exactly. And I think it's important to talk about the print too, because if you think about the whole process of taking a photo in terms of color, and why film is special, supposedly, basically the whole process is a whole chain of approximation of color. It's a whole chain of not showing the right color. From the lens are tinted sometimes to the sensor, then your file arrive there, or if it's film, or let's say it's first the lens, then the film. The film has its specificity. Some they're gonna put green in the shadow and stuff. Then the film, then it gets scanned. The scan also same. Some of them they're gonna put blue in the highlight, or they're gonna change everything. So that's the third step. After you come on your computer, if your screen is not calibrated, that's the fourth imprecision. Then you move your slider. Let's say you don't do the perfect job. That's a 5 step.
Working on color blindness.
Yeah, or whatever. Even actually, I realized that my color are a bit different. It can happen with glasses. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, that's true.
I have more saturation like this than like that.
Yeah.
So, and then you print, and your print is the same thing, and then the paper of your print. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a bunch of people who said actually the film look is just, you don't realize, but it's just a bunch of imprecision that stack up together and give the film look. So it's natural that then when you have a digital file and you try to emulate the film look, as we say, we tint the shadow, we tint the highlight and stuff because it's there in the film, and we got used to it for so long, and we give this character to film, which is amazing. But so it's already there in the film, but then I can control if I want it or not, you know. So yeah. So that's the difference between, so the final word for the starting file for the film is this problematic, the curves, and what you do with the scanner, okay? So, and for instance, what I hate with the scanner is sometimes they remove the grain or they sharpen the grain. So sometimes you come out with a photo that looks like, oh, there's too much grain, but actually it's the scanner that sharpens the grain, and it's not, still it's not reality, okay? So when I scan usually, I remove the sharpness completely, I remove the grain removal completely and extra. And then you do your curve here, and then you adjust a little bit your brightness, and now you have a starting point, and now you can edit to where you want the photo to be. And in this case, I ended up here, but you can do whatever you want. So yeah. And this solved a big problem I had with me, because so why did I start film? It was one, to save on my editing time, and two, because I heard it was better quality. But for a long time I was shooting film and it was worse than digital. I didn't understand. So this way I solved these two problems. And what ended up when you correct this issue that I just told you about, the film for me, this is like free. That's what I call free collaborating. It already has cool character. You don't have to do much. Okay? If you have to come out to this finishing point with the digital, you are gonna struggle a lot more. So that's the advantage of film. There is also a little thing, but I'm not sure what. So I think that's it. So you can ask question. I don't know if you have question now. Anyone want to check this, or I don't know? This is amazing to look at.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you mostly shoot like single model photography?
Yeah, so far, I guess.
Do you think there's like different approaches that go in? Like one of my friends, like he doesn't work with models so much. It's like buildings and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I wonder like what some of the differences approach.
With what about?
Like is it a different form of photography?
Between shooting people and shooting stuff?
Something else?
Yeah, for me it's a lot. So that now it's like personal thing. So I believe that because it's a minimal art form. So it's become an extension of yourself. So it becomes kind of an extension of who you are and your personality. So it just happened that in my case, the way I love to be social is not in big group, but I love to be one-to-one with people. I'm the best when I serial monogamous relationship, you know, rather than the party stuff, you know what I mean? So when I was young, I thought I was not really social because I just didn't like big group usually, you know, party. So, but I'm good one-to-one. So shooting people and being one-to-one with someone for me is really cool, and really I love it. And I got to discover that because I was working in guest house, so I used to meet a lot of travelers and one after the other, and the shooting model is a bit the same. And when you shoot a model, I don't know for whoever here doesn't do it, what I think really enriching is that it's kind of like a very intimate moment you can have with someone. And in my case, the fact of doing photography really like is slow down time. You are very present in the moment. You are absolutely right there. You know what I mean? It's like the focus. You are in a bubble, and the photo reminds you forever of that moment. So you are having a moment with someone, whatever it is, video, and creating stuff, and it's just so enriching for me. It's so stimulating. But when I hang out and shoot, like this one was, where is it? It's a completely different film. So this is, I was just walking around in Jeju, so with a little instant film camera, I just take a photo of whatever I saw. But I still love it because it still reminds me of the exact moment I took it. So if we talk about kind of like magic and artistry of photography, for me, I don't consider myself like an artist so much, not like all this stuff. I don't like have concept and, you know, like I'm not here to revolution the history of art and stuff like that.
It's not my thing. But with doing that, I feel like I'm touching stuff that I cannot touch in life in any other way. And it's very specific to photography because I can compare. I also play music, and when I play in a band, I realize, like recently, that when you play music, you are also hyper focused on a moment. But it's a different kind of focus. It's a different bubble, and the bubble of photography is to be, because especially with film, you make effort to do the right frame. You take a bit more time, and it fixes the memory inside you. And if you ever forget it by yourself, when you check your photo, you just remember. And recently I gave a little compact camera to my friend Jeremy that you saw, the tall French guy. I mean, some of you saw him. I gave him a little point and shoot, and I told him, try to start the photo. And he's so happy as fuck, because he kept telling me, like, the phone photo doesn't mean a thing. And every photo he takes with his little point and shoot, he's really happy, you know? And also when it comes out of the scan, it looks cool. He doesn't have to struggle with the phone settings and stuff, you know? So he started, he's never coming back to before, you know? So all of this, yeah, it's like I was alone. Huh?
What are those?
They're twins. I love that. You say, oh, I'm not an artist, I don't make art. You would definitely make art. Oh, that's the
Yeah, that's just, for me, it's just a way to access for me, kind of, I mean, maybe it sounds a bit pompous, but a higher level of life, kind of, intensity.
I'm just wondering, a little short tangent. That's like art related, if that's okay.
I'm sorry? Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like oftentimes people tend to associate the making of art with having to make a symbolic meaning or a deeper purpose to making art. Like, oh, my art has to evoke feeling or influence the art world. But the process of creating for your own sense of beauty or your own sense of enjoyment, if you are creating something, obviously you are creating something for visual joy, for your enjoyment. You are creating something beautiful, even if it is a visual, sound, a dance. Your creation is art. You are an artist by making art. You see, like, I think we all can observe this as art. I don't think any of us are observing this as like a picture someone took on their iPhone of their dog because their dog is being cute. I think all of us are still viewing what you are doing as art, as an artist.
Maybe. I don't really know. I just enjoy.
Did you edit the colors of any of these, or are they just out of the skin?
I'm not sure. Let's check. I think they are flat.
Okay.
I did some edit, but I cannot find them. I think they are flat because I would push the saturation and the contrast a bit and try to. Yeah, but let me try. I think here I have some which are touched. But the first edit I did of all these photos, it was on my phone with the base preset. I think this one is touched, for instance.
I have a question regarding framing. So I think like that was your question in the beginning.
The composition.
Composition. What's your tips there?
So composition is me. It's gonna be a bit instinctive because when I was younger, from middle school, I started to go see cinema, a shitload. So I saw like thousands of movies. I studied cinema in high school, and I came to the visual things by cinema, but without realizing it, I just like bathed into it. So after the fact, I know that I did some class about composition and blah blah blah. The only thing I just feel when it's in balance or off balance, I feel. So like the golden ratio, the 1.5, the rule of thirds, spiral, different shape. Like for instance, this photo, it would be a good example of I'm trying to balance it. I don't think it's a great balance. I cannot do exactly what I want. But if I go back to the base frame, I reset it like that. for me it's completely unbalanced. So the first problem of this is when I shoot vertical with the 2:3 ratio, I always hate it. It's like, I feel uncomfortable looking at that. It's too high, okay? So the first thing I would try to do is to go 4:5 maybe, or 8:10, like this. I will try to find a frame. I still feel there is too much sky. I probably, when in my process, I would try to go 1:1, and probably you can find a good 1:1 thing. Based on your frame, the ratio of your thing, you can find different things, and you compose very differently if you shoot vertical, square, or horizontal. So, yeah. So I don't even have I'm not sure what I'm doing as far as vertical, so I very often resort to as dead on as I can, as simple. I also prefer simple than crazy stuff. If I don't know, I'd rather do, do not harm, as we say. So take the simplest way. So for instance, let's say one of my latest shoots, I didn't want to fuck up my photo, so I went for simple. Where is it? This one, because I shot only one roll of 16 photo film. So this one, I said, okay, I like the sofa, I like the outfit and stuff. Just sit there, I will be dead on. This is a dead on photo, right? What work is that there is maybe a little bit of proportion work. Yeah, there is. See, and here I'm trying. I think that there is golden ratio, rule of third, and stuff like that. Golden ratio is 1.6 or something.
What's it?
1.6.
What is it?
It's just to try to make this proportion appear in the photo at different places.
And here, what does that do?
I would say here to here, maybe. Here to here. Here to here.
Okay.
Here to here. Or here to here. No? This kind of thing. Or, I mean, I cannot measure it exactly, but here there is a lot of frame into the frame. You see? You see already?
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's too symmetrical, it looks boring.
Yeah.
This is not. There is symmetry and there is unbalance too, so you balance both kind of thing. And this is very light, rectangle, but let's try another one.
And the 1/3 rule is
Look, I think what works in this photo in terms of composition is everything is rectangle, but she's not. So that's the position. I would say, But I don't. When I take the photo, I don't think about it. But because in high school they taught us about this, I can come out with some random explanation if you want. Maybe. I just don't know how much valid they are. So for instance, this one, she just did by herself this pose with her leg. I told her, oh, it's great, it's a triangle, it's a powerful figure. Let's shoot it. I don't know, it give her, how do you say, some power. I mean, the triangle is power. It's also fashionist. This is not great, I think. This is not great. This I was just trying. So this is another example where I have only one photo to take. Just stand there, I arrange a little bit the frame behind, just dead on, simple. The photo is not about the crazy angle or whatever, it's because she's dressed cool, the environment, I mean for me, for what I like, you can see whatever you like, but it's just the character building, right?
How about the shooting indoor and outdoor? Like,
both are cool. Technically, it's a problem to be indoor because you have less light. So in this case of this shoot, the light was very dim, so I had to lower my setting, and a lot of them are a bit blurry and stuff. And I had to shoot at 2.8, f2.8, so the lens is less sharp. Other than that, anything is valid to me. But it's just easier to shoot in daylight, outside. It's like a breeze.
is that extra lighting there?
Yeah, there is a light coming from the right of her. And what else can I show? I know what I want to show. I want to show the difference with horizontal framing. I think it's there. here. So if you want your photo to look like film, cinematic, just shoot horizontal very wide and that's it, you're good. I think for me it's easier to frame horizontal actually. So the typical thing you do horizontally, for instance, does anybody know In the Mood for Love? The movie from Wong Kar-wai. So he was famous in this movie to do framing in framing. So you would divide, because you have a very wide screen, you would divide the image in several images. Okay? So this is an example, or let's see, wait. Trying to find the horizontal one.
How do you do that? Like, is it a filter or like a full shutters?
Yeah, I can explain. This is an easy trick with it, no problem. Here, so how it does this? Yeah, like this. This is also framing inside framing, right? One of the one I prefer from this shoot is this one. So you have 3. So rule of third, but a little bit of imbalance. There is again probably some golden ratio there. Probably, you know.
I was seeing the other one, I think, on Saturdays, there was like one with like a bit of movement inside it. Like,
So the movement, so is a simple trick. So a lot of people, they think it's a secret stuff that's bullshit. So Adams does it a lot, and it's cool what he does with the very abstract stuff. There is 2 tricks I can talk about. There is one of them I didn't try yet. Maybe you will try it. But so when you shoot with a flash, you have kind of 2 photos that reach the camera. There is the photo that you take that is lighted by the flash, and the photo that is just from the ambient, the basic setting, right? So you just set up a slow shutter speed. That's gonna do your movement, and the flash, because the flash is instant, is gonna freeze the action. You understand? So that's all. You should experiment with it. This is really, there is nothing crazy about it. And then so this one, for instance, probably, so this is flashing her, making her sharp. And this, I probably move the camera like this. You can do it, move like that, you can do like that, like that, like that. You can move anywhere you want. There is a little trick about what we call shutter sync. So the way this thing show happen, they can continue the movement, or how do you explain that? First curtain shutter, you know? Rear curtain, yeah. So when you take a photo, look, if I have a slow shutter, let's say 1 second, I can click, and the flash can fire at the beginning or at the end. So depending on if it flashes at the beginning or at the end, your blur is gonna look different. And if you go at the end, it's gonna look natural, and else it's gonna invert the movement or something like that. You should look it up, okay? And in your camera, there is a specific setting to go rear curtain sync. Usually I always do rear curtain sync. And the other cool trick to do with that flash, but my flash doesn't do it, is the same idea. It's kind of the same trick. It's some of the flash, they can flash several times while the shutter open. Okay? So I can shoot one photo and it's gonna do pak, 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 or more. So if you have a moving subject, it's gonna impress the moving subject at 3 geographical locations in one photo. I forget the name of this, but it's just another trick. I never tried, but you need a special flash to do this. Yeah. Any question? Sure.
you.
Thanks.
Alors c'est parce que la taille du capteur est l'image qui arrive là, si pudieran si lo hubieran aceptado.